Nikola Jokic is losing his grip on the MVP race. Believe it or not, it's a real conversation happening right now. And frankly, it's been building for a couple of seasons. Now, before you jump into the comments with stats, yes, we know. Jokic is putting up insane numbers, but that might actually be the issue. He's been so consistently dominant for so long that people are kind of numb to it. Meanwhile, on the other side of the league, there is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Stats hot, storyline hot, MVP voter hot. So the question is, will Jokic win a fourth by default? Or is it finally Shai's time to shine? Let's break it down. Nikola Jokic's journey to NBA superstardom didn't begin with much fanfare. Selected 41st overall in the 2014 NBA draft, his name wasn't even announced on live TV. Fans watching ESPN at the time were met with a Taco Bell commercial. A low-key pick from Serbia, Jokic entered the league without expectations, without hype, and without the spotlight typically reserved for future MVPs. But over the years, he turned into one of the league's most dominant and fascinating players. A 7-footer with the passing touch of a point guard, a soft shooting stroke from three, and a post-game that looks like it came straight out of a vintage highlight reel, except it's happening in slow motion. Jokic doesn't rely on speed or athleticism, but rather on angles, timing, and unmatched basketball IQ. He sees plays unfold before they happen. He makes passes no one else even attempts. He reads the floor like a chessboard, moving defenders without dribbling and finding cutters with a single glance. By the 2020 to 2021 season, he was named MVP, becoming the first center in over 20 years to win the award. He followed that up with another MVP the next year and then delivered a Finals MVP in 2023 after leading the Denver Nuggets to their first ever NBA championship in 2024. In between, he maintained elite numbers, averaging near triple-doubles every season, while transforming the Nuggets into a legitimate powerhouse in the West. Jokic became the gold standard for big men and arguably the best offensive engine in the NBA. Not just as a scorer, but as the hub of an entire offense. Denver's system is built around his unselfish play style and his ability to make everyone around him better. He can score 40 when he wants, but he'll just as easily rack up 15 assists if that's what the defense gives him. He's positionless in a way that defies traditional roles. He can initiate offense, finish plays, and do everything in between. His success didn't come with big market buzz or social media theatrics. Jokic is quiet, reserved, and largely removed from the spotlight off the court. His game speaks loud enough, and for years, it did. Loud enough for 3 MVPs, loud enough for a finals trophy, loud enough to silence any lingering doubt about where he ranks among the NBA's elite. But there's a strange thing that happens when someone is this dominant, this often. After a while, dominance starts to look routine. Spectacular performances begin to feel normal. People stop being surprised when you're great every single night. That's where Jokic finds himself now. Nikola Jokic is having another absurd season. 30.6 points, 13.2 rebounds, and 9.9 assists per game. For most players, that's a career year. For Jokic, it's just another Tuesday. Yet, despite his dominance and the Nuggets staying near the top of the West, the MVP conversation feels different. Not because Jokic has declined, but because the narrative around him has. Writers from The Athletic, ESPN, and various sports podcasts are asking a new question. Is it time for someone else? It's less about who's playing the best and more about who has the best story. And for Jokic, the story feels like a rerun. Brilliant, but familiar. That's where voter fatigue comes in. It's not about stats, it's psychological. MVP voters are drawn to fresh narratives. The breakout star, the underdog, the player who took a leap. Jokic, for better or worse, has become the standard. And voters don't always want to reward the same story, even if it's still the best one. This pattern isn't new. LeBron had MVP-worthy seasons after 2013, but voters moved on. Jordan could have won every year in the 90s, but fatigue crept in. The brilliance didn't change, just the way it was perceived. Jokic's dominance is now expected. A triple-double? Of course he did. A big Nuggets win? The focus shifts to whether someone else in the league is doing something more interesting. It's not a knock on Jokic, it's just the reality of consistency. And with a new wave of talent emerging, voters may be ready to pass the MVP torch. Someone like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has turned heads this season, and for good reason. His numbers jump off the page, averaging 33 points, 6 assists, and 5 rebounds per game. But the impact goes far beyond that. He's doing all of it while leading the Oklahoma City Thunder to the top of the standings. OKC currently holds the best record in the NBA, a sentence very few expected to say this year. The team, which is a young, talented squad that many thought was still a few seasons away from truly competing. Yet, under Shai's leadership, they've become one of the most consistent and dangerous teams in the league. Shai's game is built on control. He doesn't rely on bursts of speed or highlight dunks to make his presence felt. Instead, he works with precision. His mid-range game is elite, his footwork is advanced, and his ability to shift pace throws defenders off balance night after night. He gets to the rim, gets to the line, and makes defenders guess wrong. Beyond scoring, he facilitates the offense. He plays within the flow of the game, doesn't force shots, and is fully engaged on the defensive end. He's one of the league leaders in steals per game, showing that his impact stretches across both sides of the floor. But what makes his MVP case so compelling is the context. He's guiding a young team through a Western Conference filled with stars and experienced contenders. He's setting the tone every night, leading by example, and showing up in big moments. The Thunder's success doesn't exist without Shai at the center of it. He's become the heartbeat of a franchise that was expected to be developing, not dominating. And that transformation is something voters are paying attention to. When the MVP conversation comes up, it's not just about numbers anymore. It's about meaning. And right now, Shai's season is carrying a lot of it. As the season winds down, MVP campaigns start to crystallize. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander isn't coasting. He's pushing harder. Every Thunder possession runs through him. He controls tempo, makes the right reads, and never looks rattled. If a game starts slipping, he knows how to get it back, whether it's a tough mid-range jumper, drawing contact, or collapsing the defense to find an open shooter. Earlier this season, he dropped 48 against Detroit. Not an outlier, a reminder. Shai takes over when needed, with patience and efficiency. He's not jacking up threes. He's surgical. In clutch moments, he delivers. Multiple fourth-quarter takeovers, often against top teams, have helped OKC stay near the top of the standings. His shooting remains elite, not forced, just precise. And he's doing it while leading one of the youngest rosters in the league. OKC's average rotation age is under 25, yet they're outplaying veteran teams. Shai sets the tone with composure, trust, and maturity. Every time the Thunder have needed a response, he's delivered. If he keeps this pace, staying healthy, winning big games, closing strong, it'll be hard to ignore. Jokic's numbers are still elite, but this year, the MVP race might come down to timing, momentum, and the hunger for a fresh face at the top. Which begs the real question: when MVP voting becomes a battle between consistency and momentum, who wins? Nikola Jokic remains dominant, leading one of the NBA's best teams and playing at a level few can match. There's a strong case he's the best all-around player in the league. But MVP races are shaped by narratives. What stood out? Who captured the league's attention? Right now, that spotlight belongs to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's led OKC from a rebuild to the top of the West. No superstar teammates, no blockbuster signings, just steady leadership and elite play. Jokic has the accolades: 3 MVPs, a championship, and a growing legacy. But momentum shifts, and this season, Shai's rise is turning heads. If the Thunder finish strong, he won't just be in the conversation. He could redefine it. The numbers are close, the race is tight, and voters will decide which story defines the season. If you made it this far, appreciate you watching. Are you riding with Jokic, or is it time for Shai to get his moment? Either way, this MVP race is getting more interesting with each passing game. Let us know who you think the eventual winner will be in the comments. And subscribe to the channel for more great NBA stories just like this.